Alright everyone, so if you're like me and got the Mark III Zetec front and rear kit, well, not the whole complete kit, and you're missing the instructions, we're going to talk about installing the front chin. So there's no installation instructions that I could find on the internet. It's really not that bad. So a couple things you'll need is we'll jack the car up, so you'll need stands and a jack. I used a couple of these guys just to pop off rivets and pop plastic panels out. You'll need a T30 Torx, pretty standard on most things. Some safety goggles because it is kind of dirty down there. 3M tape. Mine, I used it all. You'll probably only need one though. My heat gun for heating up the tape. And then some people say the factory will rivet this bottom piece on here. There's 4 points. My rivet gun, I used the biggest one, but it's too thick, so I couldn't really get a good rivet on there. So I just had some of these smaller bolts laying around, so I just put these bolts in. Kind of hard to see, but I just bolted those in. They're really snug, so that thing can take a beating. It's got no play at all. So again, 4 bolts for there. They don't need to be long. So what we did is we took off these little pieces that go on each side. So the way you do that is you only need to take the front panel off of the under panel. So just the front portion. There's, you know, a few clips and T30s here and on the ends. So pop that out. You don't need to do the rear skid plate. And that'll give you good access to these tabs. So these tabs are locked in the top. So just use a small flathead, pull it, twist it up, and they pop out pretty easily. A lot more easier than the larger ones for the rear. So we took off both sides, obviously, and then what we did is I practiced lining up everything with the chin. And these, a lot of, like the factory, there's like these little studs here and here on both sides. I just dremeled them off because it's way easier. It's basically impossible to drill holes into the bumper that'll line up enough without flexing it weird. And the 3M double-sided, it's strong enough, I believe. I've used it on, you know, my rain guards and stuff, so I don't believe it's coming off. If you want, so with the 3M, I lined it up all on this edge to about here. After that, it fits pretty snug in here, and there's not a lot of room to get tape in there. If you can try and get some in, that would probably be good. So again, and then on this side, same thing around. You can probably put like 2 levels here, and then use the heat gun to heat it up. It's easy to tell where to put the tape because there's masking tape from factory, so you know where to put it. And then so I did a couple dry runs. It helps to have someone standing in the middle holding the 2 little protruding parts just to keep it aligned more center. So I went off the center, did a couple dry test fittings, felt good about it. Then, you know, I heated up the 3M with my heat gun a couple times and peeled it off, and then I started about here just lining up all the little tabs, and then I went to this side and lined up the tabs. They're pretty similar to this style, right? So pretty easy. So I got it pretty much lined in. These ones are probably the best ones to get in first, like locked. You'll hear a pop, and then I just crawled underneath and just pushed everything else in on each side. And then once you feel good about that, I used some more heat on the areas with the microfiber and everything. So, and I did that, like 3 passes of heat and pressure for about 30 seconds per foot. The thing I forgot to mention was for the rubbing alcohol, I cleaned the front edge of the bumper where it would be sticking, the 3M tape. I don't know, like some people forget to do that, but just remember to do that. So again, I did a few passes of heat just to make sure the 3M's pretty well seated, and then I screwed things in. So again, you're just reusing your factory bolts here, a couple underneath, and then just the same the pop panels in. So here, and then in that corner, each corner, and then again those are tightened up. And then for this panel, this one right here and here, I'm missing one somewhere. So yeah, that's what it looks like underneath. This holds it pretty well. There's not a lot of flex in this, so putting it back in, I kind of went up and in first, and then kind of just pulled down a little bit on these areas to try and just get it nice and snug and clipped in. So that's pretty much it. Probably add some ceramic coating to it again, just like the rest of the car. But yeah, and the rear wasn't too bad either. You didn't need to jack it up or anything, and just you reuse this. So the only thing I would recommend on the rear, again, goggles, because you know there's a lot of dirt and crud. You just have the one T30 back here, and don't put the lower valence part on, the little diffuser part, just so you get better visualization of those little prongs to clip in. And those are a little bit longer, like I said, and thicker, so you just need to put a little extra pressure to get those in. And then this guy pops in pretty easily. And then there's 2 little brackets. It's kind of hard to see, but there's 2 little brackets back here somewhere that, you know, use a little pop, and that's still factory. So I didn't need to really add anything to the whole install besides those 4 little bolts for the lower black portion. So that's it. I hope that helps. The grill, the honeycomb grill, I did a while ago. That's pretty easy. I did it with the bumper on and just kind of slowly pried it off. I didn't cut anything, so it's just a little stiff right here where that support is, but otherwise I don't have any issues with that. So there you go. Hope that helps, and good luck.